Hello everybody, it's Brian here, and today I'm going to do two threads in one, so we'll call it a Christmas twofer. The first is for Mike, also known as MGK Boston. I really think we need to add a nickname for Mike, maybe King of Spelling, since he does have a lot of spelling threads. King of Spelling for Mike. Second is for Randall Weaver, who has a 12 Days of Christmas record thread, so I'm going to attempt both of these. Now, the first one for the King of Spelling is to show, to spell the name Santa using records. So, the artist's name, the singer's name. And normally I would do this by using the surname of the artist in question, but I've chosen 5 solo records, and I'm going to use their first name instead. And that's kind of a nod to Steve at All the World's a Stage, because if you know Steve, there's a few quirky things about them, and perhaps the quirkiest thing is that he files his records incorrectly. He puts Bob Dylan under B instead of D where it's supposed to be. So completely wrong. Frustrates a lot of people. But I thought maybe I would just do first names just to show some appreciation for his channel, shall we say. So here we go. S for Stan Ridgway. This is The Big Heat. And if you know Stan Ridgway, you know that he was the lead singer of Wall of Voodoo, and he went on a solo career. This is his first solo record. When did this come out? 86. It's a pretty good record. My only gripe with it is I really hate the song Camouflage, which is a track that's a fan favorite that many people like, but I think it's ridiculous. But, this is fantastic. The Big Heat is a great track. Drive, She Said, Salesman, very good. For A, these are in the wrong order, here we have Adrian Belew he was a singer of King Crimson for years and years, but he also has a solo career that dates back to the 80s. This is from 89. This features the track Oh Daddy, which is a duet with his daughter, which is really kind of cool. All right. N, oddly, Neil Young, and this is Freedom from 89, and this is my, original Canadian pressing, so probably hard to find. Good record, I really like it. T, I've chosen Tracy Chapman. This is her debut record, and this is my Canadian pressing. This is also 88 in shrink. Look at the price, $11.99 marked down to $7.99. I think it goes for more than that now. This is a really excellent sounding record. If you don't, I guess there's a lot of people know about this, and it's a sought after record because it sounds amazing. And where it all began, Alice Cooper, because I think it was an episode of Spin on This. One of the questions Gary asked someone is, where do you file Alice Cooper records? And according to Steve, it should be under A, which I would agree with if we're talking about the Alice Cooper band. But since he has solo records, I put everything under C because that's just logical. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell, 1976. So that's for Mike, MGK Boston, King of Spelling. Now, the second one is from Randall Weaver, who has a thread that I think is called Celebrating the 12 Days of Christmas with 12 Christmas records, and I don't have 12 Christmas records. In fact, I only have one Christmas record. This is Imogene Pais. It's really the Flaming Lips, but they kind of hide that there's on the hype sticker, but they kind of hide it on the record. And it's a strange Christmas record attributed to this person who was an Iraqi jazz pianist who died at the age of 18. It's kind of a total fiction. There's an essay on the back, and it comes on this Christmassy colored vinyl, which is kind of cool. And it's really interesting because it has a lot of songs you may know that are kind of just unrecognizable, like Winter Wonderland, Silver Bells, Silent Night, even Frosty the Snowman. And you wouldn't recognize them because they're just done in a really bizarre way. But it's the best Christmas music I ever heard. And I say that because I'm a person who hates Christmas music. When I heard Bruce Springsteen sing Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I just thought it was awful. Like, why would he ever sing that? Why would he release it? So all those infantile children's Christmas songs that get stuck in your head, I detest with a passion. Even songs that aren't children's songs, I just find them really obnoxious, and I really hate Christmas music. I'm sorry about that. I know some people like it. That's my only Christmas record. I do have one other Christmas album on CD from an artist called Bruce Coburn, which actually is pretty good. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime. So instead, when I commented on Randall's thread, I said I don't have any, except for that one, I don't really have any Christmas music. And he suggested, well, you could do Christmas movies or whatever. I don't have any Christmas movies either. Well, I have A Christmas Story on DVD. But other than that, it's a long introduction to say that what I'm going to do is show 12 records that have a Christmas song on them. So that seems fair enough. And so let's start. These were not in any order. Well, actually, they may be almost in alphabetical order, but AC/DC from the Razor's Edge. From 1990, you'll note the song Mistress for Christmas, and I'm sure many people will know about that song. Kind of a funny Christmas song. Here is something from Canada. This is the Besnard Lakes out of Montreal. This is the Besnard Lakes are the last of the great thunderstorm warnings. It's a double thing. This is excellent. The Besnard Lakes are really great if you ask me. And there's a song in here called Christmas Can Wait. Another Canadian record here, and this is from the aforementioned Bruce Cockburn. This is Salt, Sun, and Time from 1974. I can't remember what number album this is from him, 5 or 6 or something. A really good folky Canadian record, and there's a song in here called, I think it's just called Christmas Song. Christmas Song, last song on side 2, which is fine. Now, apart from his Christmas album, he does have another record with a Christmas song that I actually detest and wish he never released, but that's another story. And then, Bob Dylan from New Morning. Now, there's a song in here called Winterlude, which if you'll know it if you're a Dylan fan, which I think it's not necessarily a Christmas song, but it puts me in the mood for Christmas because it has that wintry feel to it. So I think that is a Christmas song. So I'm saying that one. From 1970, another Canadian legendary record from Bob and Doug McKenzie, who of course had the skit on SCTV. And this came out in, oh man, why didn't I look this up? It's not on the back, but sorry, I have no idea. But there is a track on here. This is kind of like a Christmas record because there's a track on here called 12 Days of Christmas. And if you know this record, you also know there's a track on here called Take Off to the Great White North. And it is featuring a guest appearance by Geddy Lee from Rush. And I think most Rush fans will know that. That's a fun record. Next is possibly the greatest Christmas song ever written, which comes from the Pogues, The Fairy Tale of New York from If I Should Fall from Grace with God, 1988. And of course, we lost Shane MacGowan recently, so that's a sad thing. And of course, that song got some negative publicity, I think, in the last few years because of some of the language in it. And, well, what can you say? I still think it's probably the best Christmas song ever written. The Pretenders from Learning to Crawl, 1983. I guess this came out, or 82. And the last song, side 2, is 2,000 Miles, which is a Christmas song, if you ask me. This is one I mentioned just very recently, The Spirit of Destiny, their album World Service. And the last song in here is called Harlan County, but they sing It's Christmas in Harlan County a few times. So I think that's a Christmas song. Next, a rather kind of bizarre Christmas song from Tom Waits from Blue Valentine, and that is a Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis. Maybe a little unusual kind of Christmas song. You wouldn't want your parents to hear it, maybe. I don't know, maybe you would. So that's kind of funny. And then maybe a little unorthodox one. On this album from The Who, the Tommy collection soundtrack, we have a track called Christmas. There you go. We're up to 10 records now. And I just remembered that when I pulled this out that this is something I found in the thrift shop. It is a bit beaten up. Here is the Flaming Lips. Clouds Taste Metallic. There's a track on here called Christmas at the Zoo. And if you'll notice, this is actually autographed, which is kind of cool. So that's a pretty cool record. And then the last one is from this box, the Kate Bush in vinyl, remastered in vinyl, volume 4. And on the other side, the second other side disc, there are actually 2 Christmas tracks. The first one is Home for Christmas, the first track, and the second one is December Will Be Magic Again. Well, it's actually called, December Will Be Magic Again, from a film called The Nightmare Before Christmas, I think, which I have never seen. But, yeah, Kate Bush. So if I've counted right, that's 12. 2 threads, 1 video. I'll put links below to both channels. You can check them out if you don't know them. Thanks for watching, and I have no idea if I'll make another video before Christmas. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Talk to you later.